Vilina ke aloha, Awaiaulu ke aloha, aloha kākou, and welcome to Awaiaulu. We develop access and materials from the historical Hawaiian language cache, and we develop resource people who are adept at making those materials accessible and integrated. Come see what we do. Aloha.
Five, HRHM Kekuanawa. He spoke about the initial intention of King Kamehameha IV to amend the 1852 Constitution, which then was inherited by his older brother, and he wanted the proceedings to be voted on, insisting that deliberation on this matter be decided upon and that decision be made diligently.
The translation training that Awaiaulu does is to familiarize our teams, our participants, to the language from the 19th century, right? That's predominantly in the newspapers, it's in the archives and letters and laws and government docs and so on. So you'd have to have a more familiarity with the time, with events, with history to understand the nuances in the newspapers. So that's what the trainees get trained on. Historical context and language usage, idioms, and the more that they know about different projects, different events, it influences their translation.
As I understand Awaiaulu, I see it as uncovering like a waihona of knowledge that exists. It's been sitting there waiting for us, but needs humans to interact and engage with it. So Awaiaulu's taking on that unearthing, but it's also focusing on growing and training the people to unearth.
For me, this is about empowering our people about who we are, and we still have a vibrant culture. And although clouded by unknowns, this is a way to bring those things clear to us, and we can make informed decisions about how we want to move forward.
To those who can't speak Hawaiian and don't have access to the resources, one of our major goals is to make that available to everyone. And we hope that these resources will be a big help to teachers, students, and just getting the information out there.
To me, Awaiaulu is a place that I can go as someone who is a student of language and a student of history, and learn skills that I can't really learn anywhere else. Awaiaulu is an intersection of history and language that I don't think you'll find anywhere else because of our tukumu, because of Puakea and Kau'i. You get an intersection of history and language that is really hard to find anywhere else.
And I think her and Puakea make a great team together. They're able to kind of balance each other out. She's very pragmatic about things. Not that Puakea isn't, but he's very much the visionary and the dreamer. And Auntie Kau'i is the one who's able to kind of get the things in order for it to happen. The two of them are probably the two that I would trust the most when it comes to having a fully developed, well-rounded, colorful picture of history, and being able to kind of really see the connections of who all of these players were in Hawaiian history, and how one event influenced another, how this person affected something else in history, and they have a really good grasp of that because of the amount of time that they've spent with this material.
We start training these translators to be researchers as well, so that it's not just waiting for something to come across your desk to translate, but to go out and get it and then have the ability to translate it and present it to the larger audience. And then that's where I think the value of this is.
Unlocking Hawaiian knowledge that's been kind of kept out of reach for a lot of people. I think that's the main function of Awaiaulu.
I mean, I've referenced outside of our direct training focus, we get approached for projects because we've created a body of experts. They've got experience and they've got a skill set that's really pretty dynamic. So the Office of Hawaiian Affairs asked us to go investigate the Hawaiian language holdings of things at Harvard, the Smithsonian, Library of Congress, and Hawaiian language materials that are afar, that they may never be touched if they're not sort of blended into the available resources. So in that journey, we were able to bring back, I believe it was 2,000 documents, a mix of letters and publications and things where a good quality copy was available that we could make a digital image and enhance the existing resources here.
Hawaiian knowledge that has been inaccessible for decades and decades and decades, maybe over 100 years, because language has been lost. And so because a huge portion of our Hawaiian voice, our historical Hawaiian voice, is in Hawaiian language, if we don't have the ability to understand that language, we don't have the ability to understand that voice. So what we're doing here, the importance of this is that we're making things that are not understandable to our people now because of the fact that our language has been taken away from us, and making it understandable and reconnecting them or reconnecting ourselves to our ancestors and to our past.
I think mostly it's to bridge that gap between what's there and the people who don't really know, you know? Because a lot of people don't realize that this resource is even there. All these Hawaiian language materials that were left by, you know, the kupuna, they don't even know it exists. And so one, it's getting it out there. Two, it's showing them how to access it through our work.
It's really had a huge influence on the way that I view my work as an academic and as an intellectual, but more importantly as a teacher, as an educator of Hawaiian language. I think it's really important that not only does translation teach us how to interpret Hawaiian, but it teaches us how to learn language, how to acquire language, and how we have the ability to be the bridge, be the conduit between these old 19th century texts and 2020. And we can be that bridge. And that's what Awaiaulu really is teaching us about, is building that bridge to our community.
So Awaiaulu, that binding of things. Papakilo database. Pene kona hi'o ona. Wa ike mua oko ya papakilo. Hiki ke imi aku ma na wahi pana, palapala aina. Hiki ke imi aku noi I aku, imi noi I ma ka mo'oku au hau. Ma kela mau palapala o ka mahele. A me ka nupepa no hoi.
Being a Hawaiian language teacher on Molokai especially, we don't really get a lot of support in professional development beyond our college years. Something that the state has not yet caught on to or even knows how to create. Awaiaulu created as side products without even knowing it. They created a network of teachers who can communicate their issues and can have access to resources to draw from to create material. Beyond that, they've created a system that allows for us to test, try, develop further, and share material and curriculum. And that's anything any teacher would want.
As a teacher, being a part of Awaiaulu and being a part of what it's all about has definitely helped to undergird my understanding of the language. And so I think that learning, you know, the wide range of resources that are available and the type of language in these old Hawaiian language repositories just gives me a better understanding of the whole landscape of material, you know, that's out there, and that some of which hasn't been tapped into in so long.
All of this written word, all of these documents are I'm so grateful that they're preserved, that we have them, but they only go so far without people to bring them to life and to speak those words and back into existence and to put meaning and value into that. So I see what they're doing, and I am honored to be a part of the process.